I just can't believe it of him.
No? Then ask him, why don't you? And ask him about the real horror. The most sickening betrayal of them all. Ask him what he did to the woman he loved. To Sabina. Ask him. Well, Sabina, what do you think of Bart's new girl? It arrived on my breakfast tray this morning. Eric von Engel died 12 June 1943. The courage of his life will outlive the infamy of his death. I killed him.
No.
That's what that is meant to say.
Bart, it's Heinz Heller. He has this mad obsession.
Heller?
Yes, Bart. I've just talked with him.
You were trying to get him off my back. He'll never stop.
But I want you to know that you're not on trial with me. Do you think I could ever believe that you'd be so ambitious that you deliberately send these people to their deaths?
I wish I could be as sure of that as you are.
Bart!
Lizzie, when you have spent as much time in the jury box as I have over these last years, you find things becoming a bit muddled. You can't convict yourself, but on the other hand, you can't quite get around to acquitting yourself.
Bart, would you tell me about it? All of it.
In 1945, after the fall of Hitler, and I returned here, the only one of my old friends I could find was Heinz Heller. But oh, what a different Heller. I suppose he told you that I murdered my friends? Well, that was a little more than I can bear. I had to try to clear myself, and I did try every way that I knew. As my last hope, I even managed to track down the animal who had been the chief of Gestapo in Berlin. I talked to him one rainy night just before he died. He swore to me that it had not been my book that betrayed the Engel Circle. No, he said the Gestapo got its leads by breaking down the various members of my staff. My secretary, my translator, even my cleaning woman.
Captain Fenton was showing me some files, and he showed me one of those denunciations.
He even swore that he could prove this if I would use my influence to get him a reprieve from his death sentence.
Well, you evidently didn't believe him. Why not? Why can't you be satisfied?
How could I believe a man like that? He would swear to anything to save his neck. Well, that's all that I was ever able to find out.
You haven't mentioned Sabina.
Yes, Sabina. I loved her more than any woman in my life. But Sabina had no intentions of becoming anybody's temporary wife. Instead, she married Erich von Engel. He had a very high position in Hitler's foreign service. Shall I tell you how he died? In the manner prescribed by Hitler for those who had been closest to him and had disappointed him most. Eric was hanged from a meat hook by piano wire. And Heller said that I wanted Eric to die so I could return to Germany and find Sabina a widow.
What happened to Sabina?
Oh, Oh, Hella told me that she lived through 2 years in prison.
What did she say about his death?
I don't know. I never saw her again.
Why not?
Well, after the fall of Hitler, things were very much in chaos here. The only one I could find was Heinz Heller. Heller with his accusations. Bartley King, betrayer. Bartley King, murderer. So I fled from Germany.
Bart, where is Sabina now? Here in Berlin?
I suppose so.
Well, then why don't you go to see her?
No.
Well, don't you think she may be the answer? It sounds to me like she's the one person who can help you.
I can't talk to her.
Well, why not if she's the person you love so much?
It is bad enough to face Heller. But Sabina, do you think that I could stand that? To have her call me a murderer? What are you doing?
I'm going to ask Heller where Sabina can be reached.
Lizzie, I won't see her.
Of course you will. Don't you understand, Bart? It's time you finally face the truth. Are you guilty or not?
Well, how do you do? I'm expected. My name is...
I know. My mother told me. Please come in. I'll tell my mother you're here.
His father's shrine.
What are those?
Posthumous awards from the Bonn government for having given his life in the struggle against Hitler. From the Jewish community for all the lives he saved from the gas chambers. Sabina. I took the liberty of bringing along a colleague so that she might meet one of those other Germans.
The good Germans. I hope I won't disappoint you.
Miss Hogan, Mrs. von Engel.
How do you do?
Please, do come in. Won't you please sit down?
You raised a very handsome son, Sabina.
Thank you. It is inner attractiveness that pleases me the most.
Oh?
We Germans live today in an age of reproach. Every son asks his father, how did you behave under Hitler? What kind of a man were you? Manfred is one of the lucky ones. He does not have to despise his father.
No, certainly not.
Also, for the son of a martyr, there are material benefits. Every door is open to him. Like his father, Manfred will go into the Foreign Service.
He blames me for his father's death, does he not?
Well, he has heard a good deal about you from Heinz Heller.
Sabina, as God is my witness, I did not write a death list.
Why do you tell me this?
Because I can't live with it any longer. Knowing that you, as well as Heller, blame me for Eric's death.
Bartley, I want to tell you something. Eric's death was the best thing that could have happened. Yes, for Eric, for me, for our wonderful son, for everybody concerned.
Sabina, what are you saying?
A little more than I ever intended.
Look, Bart, I'm just intruding. I'm going to wait outside.
No, Miss Hogan. Bart means a great deal to you, doesn't he?
He does?
You brought him here on a rescue mission, actually. Please sit down. What I'm going to tell you is the truth, Bart. In order to save you needless suffering. Both of you. You didn't know, Bart, that it was I who brought Eric into the circle. What we came to call in his honor, the anger circle. He joined partly for romantic reasons, because he was in love with me. And partly because I managed to convince him Hitler is bound to lose the war. That is, I convinced Eric for the moment.
But all the time I knew him, he was a complete anti-Nazi.
Later, after you had left Berlin, after Pearl Harbor, when things for the moment were going well for Hitler, Eric changed.
Can't believe it.
Do you know what assignment he accepted in the year 1942? Second in command of conquered Poland, where he worked much of the time with... Yes. With Adolf Eichmann. Eric was clever. Eric never put down anything in writing. But the enthusiasm by which he threw himself into the work horrified me. I can't tell you how much he disgusted me.
And yet he always told me how he hated the Nazis. In this very room, I saw him do that deadly imitation of Hitler.
It came to haunt him. All he has said and done in this room. Everybody in the circle was now a danger to him, to his career, to his very life.